Okay, well, we're back on the boat, and the sun's almost gone down, and my wife is in need, desperate need of ice in her wine, and she turned the ice machine off before we went out, and it's all melted. So the ice machine will have to start again, I'm afraid, much to my wife's annoyance. I just leave it on all the time. I just don't care, just leave it on. But I can see the logic in turning things off when you go out. You know, you don't want to start a fire or something like that. Makes sense, makes perfect sense. Hello, darling.
Hello.
Sorry about the ice machine.
Sorry, I turned it off.
Well, never mind.
You know, fire hazards and stuff like
Yeah.
that. The cat home.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be revved up in 15 minutes or so. Oh, did you want a drink as well?
No, I'll get a beer in a minute.
I'll get it. Oh.
I'll just let you sort yourself first, and then
What sort do you want?
one out the fridge, a cold one, please, from
Yeah,
the
but
bottom.
there's two different types.
Oh, just one of the cans of San Miguel would be great. That'd be great. Oh, I've been cooking in the sun all day. She goes in the cabin downstairs. It's really cool in the cabin downstairs, but it's stiflingly hot in the wheelhouse. So she's a cool cat. She knows where to go for her temperature regulations. Don't you, Boo? Hey? Meow. Yeah. Just hear that. She got chased by a seagull the other day. Thank you, darling. Have a seat and join me.
Yeah. I will in a sec.
I'll budge up.
Yeah, if you budge up,
Because we've got the sunset. We've got a good shot of the sunset
Yeah, I'll
there
sort myself out.
behind. And I've been plinking today with my air pistol, and I've decided I'm going to sharpen my skills, because my skills are very laxy-daisy at the moment. I need some proper pellets though. I've got plastic ones in that gun at the moment, and they sort of miss the target for some reason. I know for a fact I'm not that bad, so I don't think much of plastic airgun pellets with bits of metal spike stuck in them. So I'm going to go to match pellets, and there's no excuse for missing the target other than being rubbish. What do you reckon, Boo? Boat's cool coming home this time of night. We've all been out sunbathing. We watched Trevor Colt on his live. He was talking about the riots and things, and the far right fascists and things kicking off and looting and smashing things up, and I'm not going to get into politics because we're getting into a row with everybody. So yeah, come and sit next to me, darling.
Yeah, I'm waiting for some ice for the cat as well.
We'll be waiting a while. Takes about 20 minutes to get going, that thing, once it's empty. You've got plenty of water in it.
I'm not sure.
Make sure there's water in it to avoid disappointment.
There's a bit. There's enough for now.
Okay. So it's nice when you get a good batch of ice. But luckily my beer's really cold. Cheers, darling.
Cheers.
Good day's work.
Yeah.
Not me, her.
Had a nice
She's
snooze
been,
this afternoon, did you?
I did. I nodded off. I was watching Sky News and nodded off. As you do.
Yeah, especially watching Sky News.
Oh, well, it's not very entertaining, is
It's
it?
very soporific, isn't
So
it?
your people have gone, and you're changing the beds, and there's this dreadful... It must be sunblock, because the sheets go big pink blobs, don't they? On the...
God.
But you've got it down to a knack now. They've got the knack of getting them out. She bleaches them.
It's a special kind of bleach for laundry. It's a strange one. It's a certain type of sunblock. First time I saw it, it happened on the bath. We've got that white brick bath, and I put bleach. I bleach everything, and it went bright pink, like puce, neon pink. And I thought, what the hell is that? And then one of the toilet seats went bright pink, and I thought, oh, good God. But it does come off eventually if you keep applying bleach. Then it goes yellow, sometimes it goes pink again, and then it disappears. And if they've had that particular...
Sometimes, how many times have you got to wash the sheets?
I don't. I wash them once, and if they come out with the pink, then I put them on the barrel and I put laundry bleach directly on the pink, and sometimes it takes several applications before it finally goes. Got it down to a fine art. Used to have coloured bedding.
Feel the temperature of that. It's been in the back of the car. It's got a bit warm.
Yeah, we used to have coloured bedding. We're awfully dark. Are you sure we're not going to get accused of blacking up? Oh God.
No.
And I had a different colour theme for each room, and that was a nightmare. I figured, you know, worst thing you want is white linen in case it marks. Oh, puss. But in the end, I decided pure white is the best. Hello, Putty. Are we late home? I'm going to do a video and tell them why we left the UK. The whole truth. Oh.
You could tell it here.
Yeah, we could tell it here.
Have you got time?
You've got different viewers, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, might be the airgun video. It's going on my airgun channel. Really. I might put it on this channel as well.
Well, basically, life was. We always intended to move down here. We wanted the kids to be bilingual. We wanted them to learn about the history of Gibraltar and Spain, and we thought it was kind of cool that we'd be so close to Morocco. And but I mean, the upshot is, in the end, we couldn't take it anymore in the UK. Couldn't take another minute of it. I love the UK and I miss Brighton a lot, but it was the constant nagging. There was always someone on our case, and because we lived in a boat, nowhere near the size of this boat, my God, it was, well, it was a lot smaller, wasn't it, Graham? With two little tiny kids.
Well, we would have stayed in Spain. That's the truth of it, but we got a bit skint, and so when Ben came along, and Fiona was pregnant with Ben, we had to go back. We had to go back to the UK.
That's not what happened. We were living near Praia de Luz. That's why we came back. Really?
Yeah, I didn't like it there.
And yeah, we drove back across Europe. 55 solid hours driving.
Yeah.
Man and beast.
Pregnant. Fiona was out there, pregnant, with belly. And we always said we'll just go back home, save up, and we'll come back out. That was the plan, wasn't it? And it took us 6 years to get the money together to come back out.
Well, we sold the boat. We bought the boat.
We bought this boat, and we had to pay for this boat and the moorings for this boat, which just sort of wiped out my wages.
Yes, that caused a lot of stress, didn't it? Because we bought this in 2007. And we had to pay £250 a month moorings on the boat we lived on in Brighton. Luckily, we got free parking, so that was a big relief. But we had to take the kids, well, I had to take the kids to school every day. It was a good, I don't know, third of a mile walk from the boat to the car, come rain or shine.
Quite a while.
Kids kicking off all the way, you know, bickering like they do.
And I had a job as a tow truck driver, so I was on call 24 hours a day, and they hated me parking in the marina, so I had to park somewhere else and then get in my car and drive to the truck and then go off. And it was a constant nightmare.
Your truck used to get robbed as well if you parked it up the hill.
Yeah, they'd rob all the things off it.
It was like Brighton Council. It was a
traffic
campaign
jams
against
everywhere.
motorists, and they were always walk to school, walk to work and stuff. I mean, how was I supposed to do that? Walk a 6 mile with two little kids in the pissing rain with a vacuum cleaner and a mop and bucket on my back because I was doing cleaning jobs around Brighton. I mean, how the fuck am I supposed to do that?
When you do cleaning jobs around Brighton, you know it's packed.
Oh, I know.
And so you do your cleaning job, come out and you've got a parking ticket, so there's all your wages gone. You know, it was
I never got a parking ticket. I always paid for the parking. I was lucky. A lot of mine were in residential where you didn't need it, but the ones where you did,
ideally, I should have had a vehicle and dropped you off with all your kit.
Oh, you couldn't have done that.
Picked you up.
No, what, with a tow truck?
No, but
a lot of my cleaning jobs were up Hanover.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
God,
couldn't even get the truck down Hanover. It was too.
And then
streets were too narrow.
I'd finish work, do all my cleaning jobs, and I usually finished them, and there was 30 minutes to go till the kids came out. So I'd go to your mum's, and I'd get a lecture from her and your husband about how I didn't know I had life so good. And then
back in my day, during the war, when we had an out, that's a week coal.
And then I'd go and pick the kids up from school, and because they didn't live anywhere near, really, where we lived, because we lived on a boat, I would take them to the playground, ice cream van, every day, and I'd sit there bored shitless while they're playing with all their little mates in the playground, and then fight traffic for an hour, hour and a half. Worst was 3 hours. And it was the day that it was 3 hours. That was the day we made the decision, we're out of here. Oh, and also go home. And I'd just be about to take a sip of wine after a god-awful week of having fuck all. And they'd be on the telly and they go, oh, you're home drinkers, you're deprived.
Running the pub industry down.
And I thought, oh God, am I? Or you don't do enough yoga. And I think, no, I haven't got time. Or, oh, you're a burden on the NHS because you're, I don't know, doing this or doing that. And it was
Don't you
just,
get up at 4 a.m. and bake bread like we do? No.
Yeah, it was like, we're not doing enough recycling, we're not doing enough to save the planet, we're not doing enough to keep ourselves fit and healthy. And, you know, we were living in a space like this. Obviously these people on the TV weren't doing it because they were trying to piss us particularly off, but it pissed us off.
Everyone in general, I think.
I feel like saying, you know, shut the fuck up, get off my case.
Best thing we ever did moving out here, wasn't it, Kit?
Oh, I took the kids to school once and I was pissing down with rain. And the police were there and they were towing people on the spot, and this poor woman had dropped her little boy off and she had a newborn baby. Police wouldn't let her back in the car. They got the tow truck, was towed away. Oh, she was just standing there in the pissing rain, lots of tears. And I mean, it was just like, oh, is there any?
And then they want our support when there's a problem. I think, you can fuck off. I remember you. You can't. In my fucking car. You told it with my newborn baby. Fuck you.
Well, it was just stress. It was just like push more. So I do understand how people feel. Yeah, it's a trip switch.
Parents do drop the kids off at school and it's all over, isn't it, in like 10 minutes?
Well,
and they've all gone. They don't want to hang about outside the school, do they? They drop the kids off, boom, gone.
It can go on a bit, actually.
Mothers' meetings, I suppose. It can all yakety. I don't know. I suppose so.
I mean, yeah, we had a laugh and stuff. You've got to laugh, haven't you? But it did. And the day that there was traffic,
grinds you down.
Graham used to work 6 days on and 3 days off. So his days off were always different. And there was a particular day, 3 days off, and we had a little tiny fridge on the boat, no freezer, so I had to go shopping every day. As soon as we got back to Brighton Marina, I'd have to do the Asda shopping with two screaming brats who hated each other. Put them in the trolley, going around Brighton Marina, and they had to have life jackets on because it was just easier. And people in Asda going, oh, do you think your kids are going to drown in Asda? Well, no, we live on a boat. And I'd buy little dinners and think, what can I cook for £5 tonight? And just this one time, I thought, oh, brilliant. I've got a few tea bags left, bit of coffee, some milk. I've got a couple of little lasagnas in the fridge. The kids can have them. And it was a particularly bad traffic jam. I mean, it was really, really, really bad that day. I don't know why. The council dug up all the roads. 2 hours, 59 minutes to get home.
Oh.
And
there's usually an alternative route, but they dug that up as well.
Graham had been home for the 3 days off, and I got home, and he'd been on the internet, and he'd eaten the lasagnas, and he'd drunk all the milk and the tea and the coffee.
And he was in the doghouse that night.
And that was it. A switch flipped, and I just thought, oh, for fuck's sake. So he erupted, I erupted. I think knives were drawn, weren't they? I think it's probably the only really dangerous argument we've ever had. And we were in a confined space, and we both just collapsed and said that it's got to stop, because we were paying the rent on this boat, which was in Gibraltar, and the bastards in charge of the marina were letting squatters live on it, so we weren't just paying...
All their mates could live on it for free while we weren't there.
We were paying electricity, water. We didn't have enough money to fly out.
Yeah, and if you watch... Yes, I mean you.
Graham, you better edit that bit out.
I won't. It's true. Sue me.
Seriously. Well, I did sue them. I'd edit that bit out if I were you.
Anyway.
So yeah, we're sitting in Brighton. I mean, our first month I phoned up to pay the moorings on this boat, which was £650 a month, weren't they? So we paid £250 on Farben, £650 a month on this. I don't know how we survived, I really don't. And we didn't even see this boat. Well, I didn't see this boat for 2 years.
I think we managed to get out to check on it twice a year, something like that.
I came out twice, you came out 4 times. We couldn't afford all of us to fly out.
No.
I phoned up, I said I got to pay the moorings. The fella said, when are you going to come and move this sinking boat? I was like, oh my God, what do you mean sinking boat? What are you talking about? Well, they'd let some squatter move in and he'd left the fresh water running, and I'm sure I've told this story before. So yeah, you know.
You have to be there with it all the time. It's no good leaving it up to some moron and trusting them with your possessions, because they won't. They'll abuse it and then they'll break it and then they'll blame you. It's all your fault.
It is in this marina, it is in a proper marina, it is in
this marina is fantastic. This marina is fantastic.
It is actually in that marina now.
We've got a boat next to us now. A couple came out and they had to go back to the UK because their 3 months were up, thanks to Brexit. So they've got to go back to the UK for 3. Yeah, they've got to go back for 3 months. Then they can come back out again for another 3 months.
I thought they were Swedish.
And I said to him, "Your boat's fine here, no problem at all." I said it's a really good marina. Security's really good. No one will mess with your boat. I mean, all the years we've been here, we've had a few fenders nicked, and my Frenchmen have pulled up next to us and used our water and things like that. But that's about it. You know, we've never had any problems, have we?
I don't mind that, actually. You know, there were the people behind, weren't they? They wanted the steps because the lady had a broken leg.
Yeah. Well, they did ask, so that's fine.
Oh, it's a completely different kettle of fish, this marina. This is like Brighton Marina. Brighton Marina is a nice marina. It's really, really good.
Brighton's good, yeah. The one in Ocean Village wasn't very good, but it's changed now.
They've done a lot of work.
New manager, they've completely ripped the old marina out, put a new marina in, and I don't know, I haven't been back since. So it may all have changed, it may be...
It's got a problem there,
really
a strategic problem, but I think they're going to build a wall to fix that eventually. But I mean, this marina, I remember we flew out to check on the boat. We said, we want a break from the UK, from stress. So we flew out just in time for the 2008 hurricane that hit, the 100-year hurricane.
I'm glad we were here, actually.
I'm not.
So it wouldn't have ended well if we hadn't have been. The boat sank. I'm ringing you up to give you the bill to have it removed.
They say it was just shy of the Beaufort hurricane. I don't think so, because Brighton Marina, we used to have force 9, force 9.5 regularly. Sometimes force 10, which is a hurricane. Is it 10 or 11?
Force 10, I think, or 12 is the hurricane.
I think 11 is a hurricane.
12.
Anyway, we flew out and kids are playing and we were completely oblivious and unfamiliar with the marina. And everyone's running up and down the piers going, oh, there's a storm coming, and we just thought, oh, crybabies.
Ice.
Yeah, it's not quite, no, never fall for the first one. You've got to let it do a few.
I just heard it go diddle.
I know, but you need it to do a few more, otherwise
you get a few in and it's cold.
It's pathetic ice, it'll melt far too quickly.
Okay.
So we come out, and I was wearing a sparkly top, I remember that, and we were having a party, listening to music with the kids and
I've still got the
dancing
video.
about. Yeah, and we just thought, what a bunch of crybabies they are down here. What are they talking about, a storm? Because Brighton Marina's got, well, anyone who doesn't know, it's got this great big seawall around it.
It's on the wall.
So, I mean, you could have a tsunami, you'd be perfectly all right. Anyway, kids went to bed. We got quite wasted. And I heard the kids used to sleep at the front of the boat. And I heard one of them jump out of bed. Just below where we are now. I heard this dong, you know, like when kids jump out of bed, dong, dong. And I said to Graham, that's funny, boat must be haunted. There's no one in the back cabin. Well, it was our ropes snapping. We were oblivious. We went to bed, half cut. Woke up to a total bloody nightmare. That was
Bouncing
horrific.
off the pontoon and...
Oh, it was horrific.
Oh, anyway, we'll save that for another time.
And we got the kids up, and I said to them, they were very good, R2, if I said, put your life jackets on. I said, you better put your life jackets on. They said, oh, why? I said, Daddy's looked, he can see the bow line is a bit frayed. They put the life jackets on straight away. and we saw it like rope has 3 strands. One had gone,
Dong.
and then we heard dong, and we saw another one had
Last
gone.
one.
So we were, and the boat was going, and all 4 of us went to run up the stairs, and that's when it broke, and the stern hit the pier, and we all 4 of us fell back down the stairs. Do you remember? Oh my God! And the boat was going backwards and forwards, and Graham jumped off the boat, and I literally launched the kids at him.
So I got 2 bow lines after that. I paid 50 quid for an extra bow line, and then the chain on the bottom snapped in the next storm. That's another story.
It wasn't attached to anything.
Wasn't it? Probably not. Probably rusted through because it was scrap when they put it in the 70s. Right,
Well, you've got to get on with these things, haven't you? You've got to...
I'm going to carry on now talking about air pistols. So if you're not interested in air pistols, feel free to cut the film loose here. But I'm going to put it on my airgun channel as well. But I mean, there might be some people interested in it, so I'll be putting this in 2 halves. But it's all put it all together. So
Are you going to participate in the Olympics next time it comes around?
no, I'm not that good, and my gun isn't good enough either. But I'm going to give it a good shot. I'm going to give it a good crack. I'm going to try and get all my bullets. Pellets
Is there any ice yet, Cat?
in the bullseye.
See, the cat's got an American accent. That's what nobody knows. The cat talks
Really?
like Meghan Markle. Sure,
It's got a valley accent.
All animals have an accent.
Yeah.
Any pet owner will tell you that. Isn't that right, Cat?
Good night, and may your God go with you.
I thought you were doing airgun stuff.
I am. I'm moving on to the air gun now, so if you don't want to, not interested in air guns and the Olympics, just turn it off. Good afternoon, YouTubers. Well, it's Saturday. Is it Saturday or Sunday today?
It's Sunday.
Sunday. It's Sunday. And there's been lots of depressing things. That's right, because there was loads of riots and things last night, wasn't there, in the news? And I'm not going to talk about that. Lots of people are covering that, talking about that. I was particularly impressed this week by the Olympics. And I'm not into Olympics, I'm not into sports, but there was a thing called shooting, air pistols. And I've never really been into Olympic target shooting, I didn't really know anything about it. I'm one of these people that would go to the gun club and I'd be there shooting, and they'd have competitions and we'd shoot. And this, I'm going back to the 1980s now. And but I've been watching the Olympics, and apparently there's quite strict rules as regards the air pistol at 10 yards. And I thought, what, air pistol at 10 yards? Are you joking me? Anyway, I started watching it. And there's a lot more to it than you think, because I'm one of these people. I've got an air pistol, 177, and I can hit a target at 10 yards, not a problem. I thought, well, what's the big deal? But the level of accuracy that these people strive to achieve is unbelievable. I mean, my air pistol cost about $100, and the level high-end air pistols that the Olympian athletes are using, they're like $2.5 grand. And they don't even pay for them, because the companies, the target pistol companies, want you to win the gold medal with their gun. Of course they do, so they'll give you the gun for free. So you're not even paying for them, you're not paying for the pellets, you're not paying for anything. And you think, wow, I never really knew that until I've been watching the Olympics recently. And I was looking, and I thought to myself, well, what kind of guns are they using? So I googled the gun, and the one I saw being used was a Steyr. I think that's Austrian, big gun manufacturer. Steyr Sports Waffen, something like that, and it's a single shot air pistol. It's got a PCP, so it's got a tank underneath, and then you just open it up, put one pellet in, shut it, take the shot. So it's all one-handed shots. Now the other sport, they've got air rifle. They've got 177 air rifle. I've got a 177 air rifle, but mine cost 150 quid. Fiona bought it for me, and the high-end ones they're using in the Olympics cost 3.5, 4 grand. my wife actually shot a flame on it. We stood a candle at the end of the garden at something like 10 metres when we were drunk over Christmas last year, and she shot the flame out. And I thought, come on, we could do this. We could do this. How? I mean, obviously we're not as good as Olympic athletes, but how good could I be with $100 gun? Okay, this is an air pistol. Okay, I promise you. It's got a really crappy handle. You put a CO2 in the handle like that, and that's what powers it. But there's no way that this gun is going to be one of those Olympic guns. It's the same caliber, 177, fires pellets. It's the only one I've got actually that fires pellets, because all the other ones are BB guns, they fire little ball bearings. This is the only one I've got that actually fires a pellet. We never had pellet guns like this when I was a kid. But for a start, the barrel, if you want to see down a barrel, what you're supposed to do is put your thumbnail like that, like act as a mirror, and then you look down the barrel and it will reflect light, so you can see it is a rifle barrel. But if you look very closely, it pops in and out, so it's actually an aluminium tube which has got a rifled in centre, whereas your proper target pistol will be steel and it'll be rifled and it'll be a nice long barrel. And I discovered years ago, because I was into competition shooting, I had a 357 Magnum which was Ruger Security 6, and I was a pretty good shot, 25 yards. We used to have paper targets with a washing line, piece of string going across the butts, and we'd hang the paper targets with clothes pegs, and after a while we just used to shoot the clothes pegs and drop the target onto the floor, much to the annoyance of the range officer who owned the clothes pegs. We had to buy him a new packet of clothes pegs in the end because he was kicking off. But I thought to myself, well, just how good could I be? Do I really need a high-end target pistol, or can I do it with something cheap like this? And the answer is no. Of course the high-end gun is better than the cheap one. Okay, that doesn't mean you couldn't do okay with the cheap one, but you don't stand a chance. And I discovered this when I was shooting, because my 357 Ruger Security 6, which was a cracking gun, don't get me wrong, I really loved that gun, but the only time I ever got beaten, the people who beat me had a Colt Python 6-inch barrel. And I thought, they always outshot me. And I thought, right. And I was chatting to one of these guys once. I said, can I have a go? Can I have a go with your Colt Python with a 6-inch barrel? And I'd had a go with one with a 4-inch barrel, and they were so good. I mean, that gun was just made life so much easier. But it doesn't mean if you were not a very good shot, you just go and buy a Colt Python, you're going to win everything, because that's not how it works. Someone with a good shot will get a good score with a cheap gun. But if you're high end, and like your Olympic standard, you really do need the higher end gun. Like I said, proper. The longer the barrel, the more accurate the gun is. Obviously, there's limits. The gun's got to be able to fit in a box, so it can't be too long, because that's cheating, isn't it? I looked at the two and I thought, well, air rifles or air pistols, which is going to be the most difficult? And I always thought the rifle would be easier than the pistol, and I was right, I think, because the other thing with the pistol is you can't hold it with both hands. You've got to hold it out with one hand and take the shot, which is a lot more difficult than doing it with two hands, as I've proved previously. So, and then there's the pellets that you use. I mean, I just buy pellets, I don't know, let's get some. There's two kinds of pellets, isn't there? There was 177 and there was 22 in my day. I mean, there's a few different calibers these days, but apparently the pellet that they use is the match pellet, which is something like this, which is a standard sort of pellet with a very flat head. You can see that, and that's the standard, because the rules, and you can't have telescopic sights or anything. You just got to have iron sights. I mean, this has got iron sights. This is rifled. It's 177. The only difference is it's CO2 and it's not PCP. But I thought to myself, well, I'll have a really good go and see how good. Now I don't expect to be anywhere near Olympic standard, because those guys are seriously good. I mean, they're all kids as well, aren't they? They're all about 16 years old, most of them. And I thought to myself, well, I can still shoot. I've got good eyesight still. You know, I'm an old dude, but it's not energetic. I'm not going to get out of breath. So I've got some targets. And but you look at the Olympics, right, and they're getting bullseyes every time, or just outside the ball. And you know, they're not going outside of the inner circle. If I hit the target, I'm happy. And when you pull the trigger, if you pull it a bit, your barrel goes off to the, and then all your bullets go off to the side, and you think, can't do that. And the trigger actions on these target pistols, you can adjust the trigger, so you get it just how you want it. And instead of just pulling it like you do, like a squaddy, you know, you get the trigger right on the tip of your finger, and you're breathing out as you squeeze. You don't pull the trigger, not at all, because you pull that trigger, the barrel moves. You don't want the barrel to move. You want to be able to set it off. In fact, people cheated. They had a button in the pocket, and they'd point the gun, and when they were ready, they'd just press the button in the pocket, and they went, nope, that's against the rules. Can't do that, because it wasn't in the rules at the time, so they got away with it. But it was cheating. And now you have to pull the trigger with the in a conventional sense, as you'd imagine. But I've been looking at target pistols. I mean, they have mad grips, and you can't have anything that joins your wrist anyway. You've got to be able to hold it and move it and prove that it's not you've got no additional rests or anything, and it's got to be all one-handed. And I thought, yeah, I could get into this. I'm going to do it with this. I'm going to see how good I can get with this. And I might buy a target pistol. Not a 2,500, but I've seen you can pay up to €500. You can get them cheaper than that, but I mean, how good are they, you know? But the thing is with Olympic quality target pistols, you know, you could pay 500 quid from a bottom of the range gun, and you could pay 2,500 for a high end one. And really, how much difference is there? It's probably not a lot, but because the manufacturers, as I said, they want you to win the gold medal with their gun. If you're shooting for your country and someone says to you, well, do you want the £500 gun, or do you want the £2,500 gun? You're going to go, I'll have do you want the Timex or the Rolex? Oh, I'll have the Rolex. It doesn't mean it's better, but it does mean that their name's on the winner of the gold medal. You know, there's a lot of it. So I could get into target shooting like that. I could, because I've got these stupid pellets. I just buy whatever. I just go to Amazon, and I've got some plastic ones here with spikes on the end. Never used them in the Olympics, but I thought it can't be that difficult. I want to see if I've got the shakes or if I've still got it, because I used to be a good shot, and it's the sort of thing I would have done in the old days, but I never had the opportunity. Because you get on the shooting team and you get all kinds of advantages. I was on the army shooting team, and of course I wasn't paying for the gun or the bullets, and I was scoring really well, but I fell out with them over something else. So, but it's something I should have done. And I'm going to learn what the rules are for the Olympics, and I'll try and do some shooting with my cheap gun and see how I get on. That's what I'll be doing to amuse myself. It's better than watching YouTube all the time. And but I really enjoy actually watching YouTubers and coming out with. I've met loads of really cool people on YouTube. Met some arseholes as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing a bit of shooting with my air pistol. But goodness grief, I mean that hand grip is awful. I have to gaffer tape it on sometimes. But the big wooden ones that you get with a target pistol, you can adjust them, you can make them wider, thinner, longer, shorter. It's all kinds of little screws, and you can actually, because they're hardwood, you can file them down, you can add bits to them, you can get them so it fits your hand like a glove. You know, I mean, that's serious. And you've got to have the same sights as well. So, just as an experiment, I'd like to find out, for my own interest, just how accurate I can be at 10 metres. Let's find out. Thanks for watching. Okay, so what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to cheat a little bit. Well, it's not really cheating, but it's aiming points, you see. I'm going to aim without adjusting the sights, because I haven't got a screwdriver with me. I'm going to aim slightly low, because all those shots were aimed at the centre of the bullseye, so if I aim below the bullseye, I might be able to get the rounds on target a little bit better. Let's see. One hand, just stop cheating. Didn't go off. Yes, it did. Must have just completely missed. Sounded wrong. Okay, let's go see how we did. Did we in fact do any better? One, two, three, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 of them went completely amiss there. I suppose that's the difference between a target pistol and just a cheap air gun. And the other thing, the match pellets I was telling you about. When I went to put them in the gun, they were 2-2, so they won't fit. So I'm on the plastic pellets with the tip, which are not really match pellets. But I'm going to get into it. I'm going to buy myself tonight on Amazon. I'm going to buy some 177 match pellets. And I'm going to get a little screwdriver, I'm going to adjust my sights, and I'm going to work on my my target shooting. Thanks for watching. Okay, target's now there. So we'll commence with 8 shots. Single shot, one hand. And let's just see how we get on. Let's go check out the target. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, lost one somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, there is 8 holes there. But they're all above the bullseye. I'd never make the Olympics, would I? Not with that shooting. I need to lower the back sight a little bit. Okay, well I hope it's very bright out here. It's very difficult for me to see the screen bar. We've got the targets down there on the chair. I need to go and get the paper targets to put in the box, and then we'll start doing some shooting.